Well, shoot, this is a big week. It's such a big week. Harlem Globetrotters are in town. Holy mackerel. Did you guys know that? They got a great-looking team. We showed the highlights today. They're ready to go. I would not want to play them. They look too good. We're excited about this week. Getting the chance to play on Monday, it makes it fun and all that. We're playing against a terrific opponent. These guys have just done such a marvelous job this season. They've played out ahead of games. They've played in tough games. They've been able to do it all. Got a really good formula. You know, playing off their defense in the running game. You know how much we respect that. They've been really tough. They look hard to beat, and they're getting the guys well too. So they got to be feeling really good about the way this has worked out schedule-wise. The Thursday to Monday is a great deal for them. So we're up against it. We got to have a good week, and cranked up.
It's easy to draw the connections, Pete. Does the defense look like yours in the style and its approach?
There's similarities. They've adjusted some. They've done some things a little differently, but it's in principle, yeah. And you can see it's Robert Saleh's defense. You know, you can see all that in there, and there's a lot of familiarity. But there are things that are different about it. They've added a couple coaches and things that have changed a little bit in that regard, and you can see that.
What are some of the noticeable?
They're rushing the passer really well. They're coming off the ball to rush the passer, and it's been really successful for them.
With that defense, I mean, there's been talent there, but are you surprised at all by how big a leap they took this year?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's just what every coach hopes to do, you know, and Kyle's had the benefit of seeing these guys for a good while when they were really hungry and not getting it done and the way they wanted to, and now they've turned it around. I'm sure they're just having a whale of a time of it and enjoying the heck out of it.
Does Richard Sherman kind of look like the same guy that you guys had here, and does it? Yeah,
Sherman's doing great. You know, sticking over on his left side over there, just where he's really comfortable. He continues to demonstrate great awareness of the game and making his choices and decisions. He's got 3 picks already. He's not been beat much at all. He's really doing a nice job.
What does Sanders add to their offense?
Just another classy receiver, you know, that everybody likes having. You know, Emmanuel can do everything. He can play in the slot and play outside. He's a downfield guy and a slot type of receiver as well if they need him to be. Has not shown that yet, but he's just really an accomplished player. You know, he's got 40 catches already this year. He's off to a great year.
What's your assessment of the way Shaq has played through 9 games?
Shaquille Griffin.
I think Shaq's having a great season. I think he's having his best season. He's the most consistent. He's been productive, making plays. He's challenged guys. He played a bunch of really good guys already. We played a ton of good receivers, and he's more confident. He's playing with the confidence that you would hope he would play with after a couple of years of starting, and we're counting on him to be a factor. He's challenging everything.
The weight that he lost over the offseason, how do you see that showing up in his game?
I think it was just a change in commitment, just an adjustment in their commitment. Both the guys, they went about it differently. They weren't satisfied with what happened last year, and they just put their heads together and decided they're going to take on a different regimen and mentality, and to be really fit and really trim and as fast as they could be, and it's shown up in both their games.
Is it possible to treat every game like a championship opportunity while also acknowledging and having fun with maybe a rivalry as well?
No, it isn't in my mind. Every game to us is a championship game regardless of who we're playing or where we're playing, what the situation is, what the schedule says, what the matchups are, what's happened before. And in that case, there is no one game that's different than another. We want to play every game like it's the only game we got. And that's how we approach it. And so, no.
So the word rivalry is not in your lexicon?
I mean, I understand the word, and I might say it once in a while, but it's not part of the mentality at all. That's right. I'm glad you know that. That's good.
You had Robert Saleh here. I think he was in his early 30s when you had him here, 2011, 12, whatever. Did you see this for him, this kind of ascension for him as a
Yeah,
coach?
we hired him thinking that he was going to be a position coach on our staff, and he was going to work his way up. Really a hard-working, smart guy. He came off the quality control role that he had, and with rave reviews, he came here, took it over, just took all the responsibility, did a ton of stuff. Just demonstrated, in creating his own value here in this program was obvious, and so it was just a matter of time and opportunity, and he's done a fantastic job with these guys, and I'm not surprised. I'm thrilled for him. I'd like to see our guys move up and keep gaining the recognition that they deserve, and so he sounds like he may be the next guy up.
You've used several first-round picks to build their defensive line. Seem to hit on everybody, Armstead, Buckner. So how good of a group is that?
It's a really good group. Yeah, I think they're the top group in the whole league, and just their style of play, the way they're coaching them. Nick Bosa adding to those guys has been a big addition. D Ford is really fit in really well on the third down situations, so they're flying, and they're about as good as you can hope to be now. They're getting it done.
How's Diggs, and where do you hope to fit him in the
I can't tell you much yet. We're counting on him practicing all week this week. We just have done a walkthrough. This is his first official walkthrough where he could do everything. So we'll see how it goes. I can't tell you yet. I'm hopeful that he can contribute and help us this week. He has had the benefit of a couple of weeks of studying, and he's been out there for the walkthroughs and all that kind of stuff, but he hasn't had a full speed step yet on the field. So today's the first chance.
Back to Shaq, what kind of impact do you think Richard had on him as a rookie in 2017?
I would think that I would think he did. I would think he did. I showed him film of him and taught him from the history and what it was like to be as a young starter in the league and all that kind of stuff. So I would hope it was a positive impact. Just compete,
What's the hope and expectation for Josh Gordon today in practice, and any further idea?
It's similar to Q in that we just got to get him out there. He went through the walkthrough, and that's all I know. So I don't have any other information than that. He's a smart football guy. He's going to get it. It's not going to take him very long. Just need to see him practice. I can't tell you anything right now on the guys. I just know what they have looked like. But now we're going to make this transition and see what happens. My expectations are not so high that we're going to be disappointed if they can't contribute and all that. But I'm hopeful that they could be a part of it. And I think those two guys are kind of in similar modes. But Q has a couple weeks on him, of preparation and all that. So. I know Josh has been scrambling, to catch up and doing overtime and all that, competing to get that done. And so I'm anxious. I can't wait to get out to see what the guys look like.
Since you've been here in this division, there's been kind of every team's had their ups and downs, and you guys have been at or near the top every year. How much pride do you take in that consistency of being in it every year?
No, I do take pride in that. That's what we're trying to, be uncommonly consistent, and that is important, There's been quite a few coaches come through. It's been hard, and we're still here. I'm glad we're still here. Happy for that.
Chris Carson is on pace for about 100 more touches than he had a year ago. Is that getting to be maybe a bit too much for him?
Are you kidding? You don't mean that, really. He's only carrying it's like he's probably under 20 carries a game or something. I think he's right on it. For being a lead, he's the lead guy right now, and Penny keeps coming after him, and Rashad's trying to take his snaps, which I'm thrilled to see that happen. I think he's right on it. He's handling all of the workload physically really well. Each week he keeps coming back, feeling good. It's the first guy to check in on how much wear and tear just occurred in the game that passed. I think the last week it was 16, and he's been right in there somewhere between that and 24 or something like that. And I think it's a great number. Running backs want the football. They need to get out there. They need to feel the line of scrimmage and feel the game. And it's hard for a guy to really express everything when he carry the ball 10 or 12 times a game. You need more than that. And usually the more they get battered around, the more instinctive they get and the better they get. So that's just classically the way it's been. And so I'm not worried about him one bit. But the door's open for Rashad to take some of those snaps too at any time. I'm always open for that.
You are talking about a guy though with an injury history, in Carson.
Yeah, I ain't responding to that one. Next one. Next question.
Why is it that running backs don't typically get?
Are you guys in this together here? Right? Are you guys
I actually disagree with him on this. We've talked about it a lot of time. But
you are kind of sitting together in the back. I don't know. It's just,
why is it though that 300 carries is almost unheard of now when it was commonplace 20 years ago?
Yeah. I don't know if I have an answer for that. Back in the day when the guys were really the guys and they were so noted for being, just the iconic running back for their club, it just kind of that was just normal to just keep doing that. I know now, and we've been part of it over the years, going back to the college days of rotating guys. I think is a great way to play it, and to keep guys under those kinds of numbers is worthwhile. there's a threshold in there somewhere. And I think there's a greater appreciation for mixing, players. Having a running back that can be your third down guy is kind of not atypical now, and that wasn't the case back in the day. I mean, I think about when Jim Brown was playing; he played every snap. He never came out, and that's just a different day in that regard. I think probably the age of specialization a little bit has kicked into those numbers a little bit.
What stands out
Just
to
random
you?
guesses there.
What stands out to you about last year's loss to the 49ers?
I think we gave up a kickoff return that made a huge difference. We had a chance to win the game in OT and didn't. Their quarterback played real well, I thought.
Back to the consistency thing, what's the biggest challenge to that in this league of staying?
Yeah, it's discipline. It's the discipline of staying focused on what is right in front of you right now, I think. That's what I'm selling out for. It's the ability to not be distracted by what's going on, what just happened or what's coming up. The inability to play to the same level that which is in your control, rather than being factored into what we wanted to look for, a rival or a matchup, or a team's not doing very good, that you play up and down to who your opponent is. I think it takes tremendous discipline to do that. And it takes tremendous commitment in your language and in your approach to find that consistency that keeps you from going up and down. Because human nature, you're up and down. When it's tough assignments, you toughen up. When it's not as tough, you lessen. And that we can't do that if we're going to be different than everybody. And so I've been on this one for, it seems like 20-something years now. I'm just trying to drill it home about focusing and establishing the mentality so that you don't get distracted with all the things that you could, get distracted by. Just what you're talking about, So we're trying to control those variables whenever we can.
Probably year over year, though, not just week to week, but season to season.
I think it's day to day. I think it's day to day in how you practice. We have a chance to practice every day. It's not the deal where you wait for the game when over, and now we need to be really disciplined. If you're not working on it the whole time, you can't create the mentality that catches you and keeps you on track with what it takes to really be in the moment right now. So mindfulness is a big part of this, and a strict discipline and the reminders and all that. That's just to try to separate from the rest of the crowd. Otherwise, it's you're going to go up and down. You're going to be like everybody. All teams and all sports everywhere. They play up and they play down. So you can get up for every game as a championship game. You can do it. You've been watching a mentality that's trying to get that. Does it show up? I don't know, but it keeps us on track to be closer and hopefully maintain a higher level of consistency than others can do.
So, sorry.
Sure.
So is that a way of being as opposed to doing, kind of the mindfulness if you're going to that?
Yeah.
If you're just being, you're going to practice and do all of that. Is that the separation you're trying to?
And that's a way to describe it. It's really understanding the value in controlling the things you can control. And maintaining focus on those. It's when you let other things enter in, and other distractions can come in any form. It doesn't matter what it is. If it takes some of your focus away, then it's beating you in that regard. So in the moment, right there, right now, trying to win and lose every day, just battling day after day after day is what gives you the routine and the consistency of the regimen that it takes to do this.
Jimmy Garoppolo, is that kind of where he's at now? You've seen Russell obviously, get to that stage.
He's still a young man at the position to me. I mean, he's still growing. He's got so many things that he'll learn in the next 4 or 5 years, It's hard for, I know I've said this for a long time about Russell, way back when, he's going to get better, he's going to still learn, and he's still learning. Well, 6 years, 7 years, now 8 years, he's still learning. This position encompasses so much, and it's so difficult for these guys to play. There's so much demand on them that there's so much to take in and to gain control of and understand. So whereas Garoppolo looks terrific right now, he's going to be better. He's just going to keep getting better. And he's already completing 71% of his passes. I mean, how much better can he get? I don't know, but he will, because the guys do, And so that's my opinion anyway. Other guys may think differently.
How would you evaluate Ziggy through 9 versus 6 games, I guess?
He's still battling. I think he's still battling physically to get back to right. He still hasn't gained all his weight yet back. He's still in the 250s. And so he is on a regimen to continue to get stronger and to keep working to get back to full go, And the offseason took a big toll on him, not being able to use his shoulder, not be able to run and do stuff that he needed to do. So he's still developing. So it's still a developmental campaign to get him back to full go, and he plays really hard, and he's smart, and he does things right. I think that the production should show. It should come up, and So we're going to stay after it.
How does the lack of weight impact his
Just overall
effectiveness?
strength, just overall, the musculature that it takes, just he's in 250s right now, and 258 or something like that. And 270 is a good weight for him,
You mentioned Russell still learning, but to outsiders, he seems to this season be playing almost perfectly. Can you give us an example of something that he's still working on, still that you'd like to see?
Yeah, there's stuff all the time. There's stuff all the time, and he is playing great football. There's no question, and he's playing the best that he's played. The best start he's had. He's just been the most consistent. He doesn't. It seems like it's spectacular plays and stuff, but it looks like to us these are the routine plays he's capable of making, and I said this before. It's like your golf game. You have fewer misses when you get better. You just eliminate the mistakes more so. And so there's always decisions that you make. I could have gone this way. I could have gone up top. I should have dumped the ball off. To maximize that opportunity. They can't play this game perfectly. It's too hard. There's too much out there. But there's always room to improve and all that. And as long as he's physically as solid as he is and capable of moving and all that, he's going to continue to grow. And it gets easier for them, really. It just gets easier for him because he can see it more clearly, anticipate sooner, and function better because of that.
Where has Brian Schottenheimer's work with Russell shown up the most to you over a year and a half?
I think overall awareness of playing the position in terms of commanding all of it. He's controlling the running game. He's controlling protections. He's in command of the entire game now, more so than he had been prior. And that was just a philosophy that Shotty brings, that the quarterback needs to have it all at his disposal, and the effort is to try to get the guy there. Well, there was room for Russ to grow there, and he has. And whether it's setting protections, identifying pressures or coverages, all of those things that go along with making the decisions to make the choice that he makes. And so I think he's grown there. I know he has.
We didn't see much of LJ Collier last week. What does he need to do to get more involved in the game?
Just keep going. He's just a young guy. Keep going. And I go back. He missed a lot of camp time, and that time is so important for the young guys to develop. And so it's just a process of just getting right. He's going to help us before the end of the year.
What does best case scenario for Josh Gordon kind of look like to you?
Well, if he does really well during the week and feels really comfortable with the things we're asking of him, and we can look at him and feel like, okay, he could definitely contribute and go in there and play ball at a really high level, executing the things we ask him to do. He's really talented now. He looked talented in the walkthrough. He's a big, good-looking kid and all that. He's just got to fit in and see if we can fit it together where it's not a distraction for us. We're not going to put him in the game to throw him the ball. We're going to try to win a football game. And so if he can help us do that, then we'll figure out a way.
Is it easier for him to potentially slide in as a red zone target right away, or is that?
No, not anywhere where you restrict the amount of stuff he has to know will help him. But if you said he's only a red zone guy, then he might be able to whatever. I don't think so though.
What's the next step for DK to continue his ascension here?
Just keep catching that rock, man. Just keep going, And he'll clean things up, in numbers of ways. But shoot, man, we love what he's doing and how he's contributing. You wish he could get the ball more, because he's so capable. The crossing routes that he caught, the deep balls we've seen him catch, getting down the field and making plays, under duress and all that. There's no restrictions on his game at all. We just got to keep going.
Why didn't it work out here with Gary Jennings?
He just ran up against the numbers. Really, we took 3 receivers in the draft, and they're all good. Gary got swooped up right away. We knew that was likely to happen. There's just, we have a number of guys at the position, and everybody is staying healthy, and we're doing good. And the opportunity hadn't come to get in the game yet. That's all.
As you're looking for more consistent pass rush, where's Shaquem Griffin on that edge rushing plan?
He's always competing to help.
Start one more on Ziggy. How is it important for him to get going, to get everyone else to take a step forward as well?
It'd be helpful. Yeah, it'd be helpful. We need juice. We need juice out of all of our guys, really, and everybody's got to add to it to get us to move ahead. We haven't made enough progress here yet, and so we'll just keep going. I'm really happy that the linebackers are contributing in the pressures, and they're helping us get our pressure. And it's however we have to generate it, we'll do it.
Dixon, where's he right now?
He looks he looks better even this week already, just running around out there. I think his confidence of getting a week under his belt of practice. He's ready he's ready this week to go. If we can get him up there, we'll do it. He's ready to help us now.
How is this challenge for Joey Hunt different than last week versus Tampa?
Did you see how big that guy was? Jeez.
How did he do last week?
He did. Joey did really well. Thanks for bringing that up. He did a really good job. His communication, like we talked to you about, he was excellent. His helping and in protection, his second level blocking was really good, and he held up against Vita Vea, who we really heralded as a big time threat. He's as big as you can get. He's 300. I don't know how much he is. Let's say he's 330 or something. He'll like that, but he's probably way up. Joey held up, all the way. And what I was really fired up about, the last play of the game, the winning touchdown pass, it's Joey and Vita right there in the middle, all spaced out, and he had to hold his ground on him. He did a great job on him. We get a touchdown pass to win the game. I was really fired up for Joey, and he did a great job for us.
How's Ben Jefferson?
We're expecting him to be full go. We're really excited to get him back.
Do you miss Jim Harbaugh being in the league?
Yeah, I like Jim. I like Jim a lot. I think he's a great ball coach, and he won't like me saying this, but I love beating him. I mean, he's showing it again. He's doing great. He's an incredible coach. I think he's, he's unique. He's tough. He's smart, creative. He's a great ball coach.
Have you reached out to people who work with Josh in terms of how to maybe best help him off the field?
We've done our work as we do. Whatever a guy brings to us, we're going to try to investigate it. I can't tell you we've done a perfect job of it, but we're trying. We're trying to figure it out. We want to complement the support system that all of our guys have, and so we're trying to do that in any way we can, and we're trying to help our guys be the best they can possibly be, and that's all part of that process.
Would you say it was maybe a rivalry with you and Jim?
No, I think you guys thought that.
You just like beating him?
It's like playing him. It's fun.
Didn't you ask him what his deal was?
Well, yeah, you should have seen him that day. I mean, jeez. And they beat us bad that day, too, by the way, as I do recall.
What did he say when you asked him that?
I don't know. I don't remember. I don't even know if I said that. Somebody said I said that. He said I said that. I guess. I don't know.
Did you not
if he wants to bring the Wolverines in here, okay, we'll play him. Let's go. No.
How close was DeMarcus Christmas to getting back?
Ask the question again, please.
How close was DeMarcus Christmas?
Yeah. He was there. Really, he made it back, and we just didn't have a spot at the time, so we couldn't do it, unfortunately.
Anything else?
Speaking of Bobby Wagner.